Windy and cooler today. 2.5 inches yesterday of rain, which was really needed. But now look, the pond's a little fuller, not full yet, but it's higher than it was before, much higher. So that rain helped everything, going to help the grass grow. Yeah, it's going to help the ponds fill up a little bit more. And there's supposed to be some more rain in the forecast. Oh, I think it's later this week or next week. Oh boy, that wind's cold. Woo! Strong and cold. I didn't dress warm today. I gotta get more clothes on today. It's cold. And too windy to do any work. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk around and take a look at everything after the rain. Cattle probably are comfortable in this weather. Yeah. This cool weather, this cool air is what generated the storms last night, or yesterday and today. The cool air from the north came down and met the warm air from the south. And that's why I got the rain. Which is okay with me. This is a taste of fall now. Yeah. Finally, got cooler. Been warm so far, but now it's going to be cooler. It's going to be in the 60s, 70s now, instead of the 80s. Got a few clouds today, but mostly it's the wind. It's the wind and cool air today. Yeah, that's the change today. Yeah, much cooler today. But mostly it's the wind. The wind and the cold coming back. And this little pond, it's got more water in it. Yeah. Not full, but it's got more than it had before. And I think the grass is going to start looking greener. It's fuller. Yeah, the grass is going to start growing back. Yeah. That'll help. I won't have to, maybe once it starts growing back, I can won't have to feed as much hay. We'll see. I'm just glad to have that rain. It's 2 p.m. It's still cold. It's probably right around 60 degrees. So I call it cold. Yeah, it's still windy. I haven't been out to the big pasture yet. I ought to go out there and check the creek anyway. See how full that is. Yeah, the sky's partly cloudy. Big change from yesterday, or from the previous days, because it was fairly warm. It was in the 80s. No, it's not even, barely 60. It's a 20-degree difference. Okay. Won't be long. I'm gonna have to start digging that up. The lemongrass. Separating out each stalk, see how many stalks I can find with roots on, and plant them separately, not like last year. That was a big waste. I lost most of my, I only had one, that big plant there, that's the only one that I had survived, except it was one stalk in the spring. That was the only one that survived the winter. But it grew back, and then I got three other plants from it all around it, so that helped. Yeah. Okay. I think there's some tomato, well, volunteer tomatoes in there, but it's too hard to get to them with all those sweet potato vines. I have to keep the tomatoes separate from the sweet potatoes next year. Yeah. That one sweet potato is the one I had growing all winter, and in the house, and I brought it outside here in the spring, and it just went everywhere. I planted another one that had sprouted in the house before I got a chance to eat it. So I planted that too on the other side, and then it grew out and smothered everything. So I'll have to keep sweet potatoes separate next year somewhere, away from the tomatoes. Okay, I'm gonna get ready and drive out to the big pasture, take a look at the creek and the cattle too, since I'll be out there. Well, it looks like I got 2 5/8. Ooh, sun's bright. 2 5/8 of rain, inches of rain. I think, yeah, it's a little bit over 2.5. Yeah, with that rain I got yesterday, 2 5/8 inches of rain. That will help this grass grow back out here, down in here. Yeah. And since fescue is a warm season, cool season grass, this cool air should help it grow it. Not helping me much though. Oh, they still got hay to eat. And she's nibbling on some grass up here. So that's good. They'll have more to eat now. Okay. Cold air don't bother the cats. They like it. They got a fur coat. I don't. Even though the wind is cold, it's coming from the northwest. The sun is still warm when you're not in the wind. Where'd they go? I'm fading. Oh, there I am. Come and go. Big on how the sun is shining. It feels good on my back. Yeah, the sun's still warm, but it's shining. Alright, let's get ready to go out to the big pasture. At least I'll be in the truck for that. 4:30 p.m. and it's still only 60 degrees and windy. But now I'm going to head out to the big pasture. Check the creek and the cattle and the hay. It's only been today's Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's only been 3 days since I fed cattle out there. At least the sun is shining. Yeah, it's cooled off today a lot compared to the last few weeks. Yeah. Okay, let's head out to the big pasture. Take a look out there. Oh, this creek's full compared to yesterday when I came down. After the first 1.25 inches, I came around here, oh, I guess it was around 4 o'clock, I guess, or between 4 and 5. Anyway, there's a lot more water in it today on the upstream part. Downstream looks good too. I think the water is even flowing down there. Yeah, I can see water flowing over that way. Yeah, it goes and then it turns through there. Yeah, that extra 1.25 inches or so to make it 2.5 inches altogether. 2 5/8. Yeah, it was 2.5 yesterday, but then I guess I didn't read it good at night. Anyway, I think the creek's flowing again. Yeah. I think there's a turtle in there. There's something on the water. It could be a leaf. Yeah, it's probably a leaf. Anyway, I'm glad to see that the rain made the creek flow again. That's good. Yeah, but mainly it benefited the grass in the pastures to help it grow. Okay, let's go to the top now and check out the cattle in there and the hay they got up there. Yeah, I can see the creek flowing again after about, I forget how long it's been since it stopped flowing. It's been a while, at least a couple months. I didn't see one of them vans around here before. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of van it is, but anyway, there's the creek flowing. Water's flowing. Yeah, nice to see that again. What's even nicer though is that this grass will be growing again after that rain. There's plenty of moisture in the ground now for that grass to grow, and the weather's nice too for that to happen. Yeah, ground is soft now. I gotta be careful I don't make any ruts. Yeah, forgot about that part of the rain. Yeah, nice to see your water flowing again. Yeah, the shadow's getting long. It's getting close to 5 p.m. now. This pond's fuller now too. It's not full, it's not overflowing. If it was overflowing, the water would back up this way. It don't go out that way. The hill's too high there. It would back up this way. Back up, back up, back up. Go up there, just below that stump here. That old stump, and then there's a metal drum there. There's a big drainage pipe that goes out to the creek. That's how the water comes down that hill here. Comes down here. Some of it goes into the pond, and some of it goes out that ditch there, out that culvert. Yeah, the ground's a little soft after 2.5 inches, but of rain yesterday. But since the ground was so dry to start with, it's not muddy. It's soft, but it's not muddy. I just gotta be careful where I drive. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about charging that cattle rub oiler thing for flies, because in this cooler air, flies won't be a problem, I don't think. Well, I'm surprised. After three days, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. After 3 days, those 2 bales that I fed out there, they're almost all cleaned up. But they got grass to grow now, so I think they'll still be okay. Yeah, there's still a little bit left to eat. This is where I fed hay previously, through here, over the previous weeks through that way. There's a few cattle over that way. Yeah, they're eating something in there. A lot of times, though, this time of year when the leaves start falling, they'll eat the leaves too. Yeah. Besides whatever else is growing, they'll eat the leaves. Yeah. At least that's what I've seen in the past. Anyway, I want to go check the other end of the pasture. Yeah, there's somebody. I hear somebody down there. That's where the rest of them are, I think. There's a bull and one of the cows. Why is he following her around? She was the last cow to have a calf. That was around the end of April. I think they just happened to be together. The other cattle must be somewhere in those woods. I'm gonna have to drive over there and see. I gotta be careful where I drive here. This is probably muddy now because this was disced up before. I don't want to get stuck. But I got four-wheel drive, but I'm gonna drive across it just to see how wet it is. There's that little pond. I'm sure there's more water in there now than there was before. Yeah. I'm not going to drive in there. I got a tree to cut there. I got a tree to cut down and a stump to cut off. Plus I got a tree over there I need to cut someplace where I drive down. But I don't want to do it today. I don't have the tools with me anyway. Yeah, this spring I hired somebody an excavator I think it was called a mini excavator, and I had a couple piles of dirt here from when they dug out the pond a long time ago. Somebody else, about 2015 I think, somewhere around there. And I had them put some dirt through here, and I added a culvert in there, so now it's easier to drive through with my truck without worrying about getting stuck. Although it is still low over there, so if I ever need them to do any more work here for something else, I'll have them take some more of this dirt here and put it down there on the other side of the culvert as it goes up the hill. But I want to cut a tree down over there too. It's in the way when I drive through. Well, I checked the fences over when I came up on the gate at the top of the road. I checked them there, and the north fence is working good. Because I bought a new charger this spring. Anyway, the south fence has been having trouble with it. The last time I checked it, it wasn't grounded anywhere. At least I couldn't see nothing. So, and it's still barely working. It's working, but not very much. So I'm going to do another test here. I did this before. I didn't check this south fence, but I just tested it down by the gate on top of the road. But I'm going to jump this north fence to that fence to see if it'll help it work better. If it makes it work better, that means there's something wrong with the charger down on the south fence. I probably need to buy a new one one of these days. I jumped the north fence to the south fence, and now the south fence is working much better. It wasn't working very good when it was just by itself, but now that it's jumped, I'm going to leave it jump for a while. Since the south fence ain't working too good, the charger. Yeah, the north fence box is new. It was new this year because it wasn't working either. Anyway, the neighbors' stubble beans, they had wheat in here this spring, and they harvested it in around June or July, I forget when. Then they planted soybeans in here on top into the wheat stubble. And now they got bean stubble or soybeans in the stubble. They haven't harvested it yet, but they probably will eventually. These are considered late beans. That's why they didn't harvest them yet, I think. Some of them are still green there along the tree line. And I don't know. I can't tell what are weeds or what are the beans. But anyway. These sassafras trees, the ones that look reddish, yeah, they're changing color. Leaves are turning red. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, even or just younger, I used to dig up the small sassafras trees for the roots. I'd make tea out of it. I should do that again. I think I still got some frozen ones in or some in the freezer, some tree roots, sassafras roots. That makes good tea. I think it's mostly for the spring. The old people always said it was a spring tonic. I don't know what it did. In the blood or something. I don't know. It does something. Anyway, I should dig up some more sassafras roots one of these days. Get back to doing that. That's what they make. That's why I like root beer. I don't drink soda anymore, but when I did, I always drank the A&W. I like that root beer. Don't know if it actually had sassafras in it, but they called it root beer, and that's what root beer came from. Sassafras. Okay, I'm not driving down to the bottom. I don't need to do that, but I'm gonna drive along the woods here, see what I can see. I'll just do a drive-by. Drive by the woods. Some people call it forest, some people call it something else. I call it the woods. It feels like I'm crooked. Drive, I call it. Yeah, this is where I'd like to put a road in someday. Like I have over there by the coming up the hill. Yeah, somewhere through here. Probably follow this creek. Somewhere through there. Push out these trees down through the middle here. Just push them to the side, leave them, let them rot, and then dig a ditch on each side of the middle here, where the stream goes down, and then put that dirt in the center, have a raised road, and then have a ditch on each side with a raised road. Period. That's what they did on the other road. But that's just a dream. It costs money. Hard to see the cattle. The sun's in my eyes. I can't see. There, I'm in a little shade. There's a few missing. Let's go back to where I was. The other cattle. Oh, there's the other cattle. I see them now. They're over by the vehicles. I still can't see. Got the sun in my eyes. The sun's getting low. There's another place for a road, but it's almost too steep. The other one's less steep. We're gonna watch where I'm going. I'm gonna run into a limb. Oh boy, that was close. There's a calf. Didn't even see you until now. Let's see who you belong to. Oh, that's the last calf that was born this year. That was the last calf. April 25, if I remember right. Yeah. There's a couple more calves over here. Yeah, that's this. I think that was the second last calf to be born. That's white, the whitish one. And I think this was the third calf born. This brown one, the red one with the black nose. It's a bull. Yeah, next year I'll be taking him up to the house. Let him be with those hiding cattle. Yeah, because I don't need too many bulls out here. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. I don't know if I can make this turn. That made it. Yeah, I remember when we made this road. This branch here was the previous owners were able to drive up it, but it was full of trees. I mean, it was like a branch going down, just like the other place. They had cleared enough trees just to drive up the branch, but it wasn't a very good road. It was eroded, and then so all this area here where the gate is, it was a road going up, but that's about it, just a pathway. It was full of trees, and I had all the trees pushed out in this low spot, because the rest was farmable, but up here top of the road here, it was all full of trees. So I had them push it all out, widen it, and then dig a ditch on each side, and then make a raised road. And it's been working pretty good since whenever I put it in. Must have been sometime in the 90s. Let's see who we got up here. Got 3 calves over on the other side. So how many have we got here? I think somebody's still missing. I'm not sure who. I see. I got 3 calves over there. I should have 4 cows. Well, there's the big heifer. So I got 3 cows. Who's missing? Oh, I know who's missing. Mama cow. Mama cow's missing. Where's she at? I didn't see her yet. Let me count them. Should have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 2 missing. I got the 4 calves. I got the 4 calves. Who's missing? I got the 4 calves. I gotta go find out who's missing. I know Mama Cow's missing. There should be one more. Let me think about it. I remembered. Okay, Mama Cow and I think and her calf from last year, her white bull calf from last year. They're missing. They're probably down in the bottom somewhere. Well, I'm sure they're here somewhere. I'm gonna head home. They're around here somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. Can't see. That's where I'm headed. Since it rained and this ground is wet here on this road, I'm going to head close this gate like I always do. I probably should go find the mother too, but I don't feel like it.
Since this ground is so wet, I'm going to close this gate here so they can't come in here anymore. Okay, gate's closed. Yeah, I don't want the cattle marking up my road with their footprints when the ground's wet. Yeah. Anyway, I'm headed home. Uh-oh. I'm spinning out. Ground's a little wet here. Not too bad. Since I closed the other gate, I could leave this gate open, but since they're used to coming in here, they might find another way. So I'm going to close it. Still wet through here. After I closed the gate behind me, I checked the south fence again, since I got it jumped to the north fence, and now it's working a lot better. So, well, I guess my goal is to eventually buy a new electric charger, fence charger, but I'll wait and see how long the north fence can power both of them. I don't want to put too much stress on that one, but I'll buy a new one eventually. Okay, let's head home. So I'll do a drive-by of this pasture here too. Yeah, I can already tell. Even in just one day, I think the grass is greener from that water, from that rain yesterday. And you can see over there, just right of that dead tree, in the pasture, in line with those white jugs down there at the corner, near the edge of the creek. You can see the berm in the ground, the humps of dirt that was left over from when the creek was dug out here back in the early 90s, and the humps are still there. They had humps here on this side of the tree too, but I was using them to feed hay bales on, so they got knocked down over time. Okay. Let's see. Park it right through here. Let's continue on home. Yeah, this pasture will green up now with that rain. Yeah. Sometime last week, somebody stopped at my house. I think it was already after sunset. They were just passing by through here. Somebody who drives through here, and they saw some cattle over there by the creek, on the other side of the road by the cornfield. They thought it might be mine since they knew I had cattle down here. But I asked them what color it was. They said it was. They call it cream colored. Yeah. Anyway, I came down to take a look just to make sure it wasn't mine. But they were all polled. They didn't have any horns, so I knew they weren't mine. And there was a bigger animal that was like grayish. It was already pretty dark, but I was able to see him way down there closer to the creek down there by the corn, right on the edge of the cornfield. There was 3 of them, and they stood there for a little while until I drove past, and then they ran back into the cornfield. And that's from my neighbor who lives between my place and the farm. He rents a pasture way over there to the right. No, he don't own it. He rents. Did I say own? He rents a pasture from somebody over there, and his cattle were out before. I helped him get them in one time. There was a whole bunch of them out, like the whole herd almost. Anyway, they go back in through the creek. They get out through the creek, and maybe other places too. But the ones where they went back in when we were chasing them, or getting them back in, they were at the creek. The creek crossing where he's got a fence across the creek. But anyway, I notified him that what I saw, that I saw 3 of them over here, and he said, yeah, he knows they're out. He just don't know how to get them back in. They're just wandering around. Anyway, if I see him again, if I can get him into my pasture, I could probably corral him and then have him, and then take him to his place like I did the other one. That was one of his other calves got into my pasture. It was in there for about a month, until I took it back to him. Yeah. So anyway, that's just a story I wanted to say. Anyway, let's go. A little wet on this road too. I guess I won't be mowing grass here no more. Let's straighten this up. Okay. Let's head to the house. I'm home. Let's send some on the truck here. I just bit back down here to take a look. I want to look at this little stream here, see if there's any flow through it. I don't see no water in it right now, but I'm sure water flowed down it yesterday. I'm gonna walk in and take a look at it. Cattle are spread out. I could have parked the truck at the house and walked down, but I'm just getting lazy. Hard to tell, but it doesn't look like any water flowed down this stream because of the leaves. The leaves aren't disturbed too much, but I'm sure water flowed down through here. See how they're piled up against there? Yeah, water flowed through here. It had to, with 2.5 inches. It had to. Yeah, got a few Jimson weeds to cut down here, but I'll do that some other time. I don't have. I got a knife. I'll cut them. I just remember I got a knife in my pocket. Yeah, the culvert work I did this spring on here. I had to move one. Let's see this smaller culvert here. I got it from the excavator people, and I had them put it over there because I had a mound of dirt there that I wanted them to use to cover it up. That didn't work too good. The floods we had this spring and summer, the heavy rain, and I guess it was June maybe, or whenever they put this in, or after they put this in over there. The water was so heavy it backed up because all the water couldn't go through, so it backed up and went around. So I had them, that's after they had dug all that out over there. It just couldn't get through the culvert fast enough. So I had them come back and dig that up, dig that culvert up over there, and then dig this out and put that culvert here. Plus I had bought another one in the meantime, and now they had two, and then I put concrete around it. Yeah, it worked pretty good. Yeah, now it don't overflow here. Didn't back up, I mean, flows out. Running low on battery already. This cow's, she keeps to herself a lot more than she used to. Yeah, I noticed that. She's the one that's been having some problems with her walking or her back or something. I'm not sure what. But she still gets around. But she just walks slower. If I remember right, her mother, her mama, looked like her, but had a wider set of horns, had a bigger horns, probably because she was older. And if I remember right, I think she died of arthritis or something because she didn't make it. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Probably back in whenever. Anyway, looks like the grass is really getting green here, or it just looks greener because of that rain. Okay, I'm gonna, but I can't tell what's in this ditch. There's too many weeds and I'm not crawling in there. But I don't see any water in there's no water flowing, so it didn't rain enough for it to keep flowing. I gotta go. I'm running out of battery. And the wind's cold too. Oh, there's the bale I fed last Thursday. Today is Sunday. Yeah, they still got plenty of leftover hay too. Plus now they got more. They'll have fresh grass to eat. And I'll cut them Jimson weeds out on the way out. Just a few Jimson weeds to cut. I didn't have to cut them. Ground's so soft from the rain I can pull them out. Yeah, there's plenty of babies too. I pulled out some of them, like there's some babies there. Baby Jimson weeds. Some just started to grow. I can worry about them. The cold will kill them. Yeah, I just made a pile here when I pulled out. Okay. I did find out something though. I tested my fence as I was coming in this gate here. Oh, what's wrong with that calf? There must have been something down there he didn't like. He ran up. Anyway, the fence down there by the gate's not working. So I'll have to check it when I get back to the house. Still need to clean these, pick up these logs one of these days and put them somewhere up there, up higher, up there by those trees, someplace I can, in case I want to use them for something. I don't know what I'll use them for, but they're there. I think it's white oak, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I didn't feel like burning them. I thought I could use them somewhere. So I'll get to that one of these days this winter. Yeah, I gotta test this fence. Figure out why it's not working on this end. Well, it's just after 6 p.m. and it looks like the sun went down behind the trees already. Yeah. I can just barely see it flickering through the top of the trees. Okay. Still got to check my fence. I got to go to the other side of the house. But I probably won't do it today. I'll just check to make sure if it's working or what's working or what's not working. And then I'll work on it tomorrow. Find out where it's grounded or disconnected. Could have been deer breaking the fence. I don't know, but hopefully no cattle will get out. It's 6:05 p.m. and sun's still shining on those trees over there up on higher ground. And the tops of the trees over here. Oh, but it's on its way down any time now. Yeah, and on November 2nd, or or is it November? Yeah, November 2nd. The sun will set an hour earlier, so it'll be just after 5 p.m. when it sets, or around 5 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Okay, I'm going to check the fence before it gets too dark. Okay, I'm going to check it on either side of the gate here. That's how I check it. Because the electric box is plugged in. It's a plug-in type. It's not solar. So it goes there, goes out to the fence, comes around this way, and then it goes down the hill all the way around, over by the road, comes back along here by the gate, and it turns it all on through here, up and around there, and back to this side of the gate. So if I check both sides, I can tell that what's on and what's not on, or where it's grounded. Well, it's working good on this side of the gate. This is the one that's closest to the charger. Well, fence is working good there, but not here on this end. Of course, it wasn't working on the gate either, by the road. So I just figured it wouldn't be working here either, because that's what feeds this. So somewhere, but normally if it's grounded, none of the fence would work, even that side. So somewhere it's disconnected somehow without grounding it out. So I'll have to do some checks tomorrow. That means I can get my ATV going. I gotta pump up the tire on my ATV because it's almost flat. Then I can drive my ATV around and check out the fence. But first I'll check everything up by the barn first as it goes down the hill. Yeah. Maybe I'll walk to the barn right now and see if I can find something that's wrong with it. Well, it's working up here, so something has to do with something down there. So somewhere down there, all the way around, it's not working, because this fence goes down the hill, goes around over that way into the trees, up the hill, and then around the corner, and then by the gate, and then comes up around here and goes out to the other gate here behind the house. So at least I know where to check. It's somewhere down there. It's somewhere down there. I'm just guessing, but I think it's somewhere down there on that corner, because that's the last time I had anything. I worked on that down there. So it could be something I forgot to hook up. Not sure. But I'll find out tomorrow. Oh well. At least I know where I'm going to start. That's not where I'll have to come back here to the barn and turn the fence off tomorrow before I start working on it. But I'll just drive in here with my ATV, try pumping the tire up. Start down there and just drive around until I find the problem. But I'm just thinking it might be in that corner. Because the fence is working, so it's not grounded. So somewhere it's not connected. So last time I worked on it, I probably forgot to reconnect the wires, and then it's been off all this time down on that side somewhere. We'll see. I'll find out. Could be somewhere over here by this old little pond too. Anyway, I'll find out tomorrow. Give me something to do. I brought these tubs from the house when I had these cattle penned up here a while back. So I'm gonna dump them out and carry them back to the house, because I need them when I get gas with my truck. And if I need gas for my jugs for my tractor and lawnmower, I put the jugs in here in case any gas spills out. At least they're contained, and they don't roll around either. They won't fall over in there. I'm gonna dump these out and take them home. I'll carry them back to the house now. At least the wind died down. It's not as strong as it was this morning. Ooh, the wind was really strong this morning. It's still blowing a little bit from the west, northwest. And it's still chilly. Ooh, it's under 60. Probably in upper 50s right now, but it's still cold. I'm not used to, I'm not acclimatized to the cool weather yet. Takes some time for that. All right, let's walk back to the house. Yeah, I got to pump up this tire. I think I can still drive up to the front of the house and pump it up there instead of bringing the air compressor down here. Yeah, easier for me anyway. When I drive up to the front of the house to pump up that tire, I'll carry these on the ATV and carrying them up there where I need them. Next time I get gas with the truck. Yeah, this cool weather is probably not good for the lemongrass because it likes hot weather. I start thinking about digging that up. I've got to get everything ready for transplanting it. I got a bunch of containers that I've saved over the summer. I used to use plastic plastic containers. Contartins. I made up a word. Anyway, but this year I've been buying what do they call those? Coconut milk containers. And they're in those like a waxed paper cartons. And so I cut the tops off, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to use them for the stalks of lemongrass. As long as they got a root on them. The ones that don't have a root, I'll put them in water and let them grow a root. Yeah. That's what I saw on a YouTube channel somewhere. YouTube video about how to transplant or save lemongrass during the winter. I've been doing it for years, but last year I made a mistake and tried to save big clumps in smaller in the ice cream containers, which are smaller. So I had more plant and less soil, which didn't work right. Didn't work very good. They grew for a couple months, but then they started to slowly die. Yeah, I was even harvested the leaves that were growing inside the house for 2 months, and they got big enough. I trimmed them back a little bit. But after my second cutting, they just didn't grow back as good. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to do it different this year, this winter. I'm going to have more containers, but in one plant with more soil. So hopefully that'll work better. Now we'll have some lemongrass to replant in the spring. Well, it's getting dark. I better get going. Go back in the house. Okay. Yeah, the leaves are changing. Temperature's getting cooler. It won't be long. All these leaves will be bare of leaves. And then the winter will be here soon enough. Another 2 months and winter will be here. Anyway, I think the lemongrass is okay. I just can't let it, as long as it don't get below 40, I should be okay. Yeah, yeah, I gotta time it just right to get these things transplanted. I don't want to do it too early, as long as there's sunshine and a little bit of warmth. Even if they're not growing, I just don't want them to die, because frost will kill them. All right, well, that's all for today. At least I got something to do tomorrow, checking this fence down there in the bottom. But I'm not looking for a ground. Oh, the bird. I'm looking for some kind of disconnect. Yeah, so I think that's a cardinal singing. They always do that after the sun goes down. They start singing. I noticed that out in the big pasture one time. Come on, sing some more. Anyway, that's all for today.